being here. Today I am going to be talking about my first few months self-publishing on KDP, which was back in 2019. And just so you can see the progression really and see what it was like for me. But obviously I don't think my results are typical at all, especially now. But I still think it's quite interesting to see how other people have done. Well, I find it interesting anyway. So yeah, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. I'll link to the original blog post that I'm doing for this video as well, which was from a while back. It just has a bit more detail in it and stuff like that. Hi, so here we are. I'm just going to talk about my first few months on Amazon KDP. So I actually wrote this a while ago. So I wrote this in the final month of 2020 Q4. And now we are in the basically final month of the Q4 2021. And yeah, one of my goals for 2021 was to start a YouTube channel. So this is it. So anyway, let me scroll down a bit. By the way, I will link to this post below if you want to read it in full. So I started probably in October 2019, and I uploaded about 200 books between October and January, which is quite a lot, and a lot of those were actually notebooks. So I don't really recommend doing that. It's just the kind of advice I think that I had at the time, or that's what I thought you needed to do. But actually, it was a few books that I created that ended up being low content, not no content. So they had a bit of more of an interior, and those were the ones which took off. It was no content that helped me to get started, because without that, I think I would have struggled. You know, the whole technical aspect was quite overwhelming, and I didn't really know what I was doing at first, of course. And I think just learning how to have a lined interior. I bought Tangent Templates, which is a really good program. They've got lots of interiors on there. It's a one-off purchase as well, so it's really good value. If you want to start with a lined interior, I do have one on my Gumroad shop. I'll link to you below. So yeah, I started in October, and I was trying to get as many books uploaded as I could because I was going away in November. I actually went to Florida, so I knew I wasn't going to be around to be making books. But yeah, by the December, I had a couple of books that were just taken off on their own, and they were making multiple sales a day. And I was just completely shocked because I didn't expect that to happen at all. So just as a summary, in October 2019, I made $30. Then in November, I made $259, and December was nearly $1,000. Actually, these numbers were taken originally from Book Report, which I don't use now. So they're slightly off by a few dollars here and there. I think it's because of the exchange or something. But actually on Amazon's reports, it's slightly different. So yeah, I didn't expect to make $1,000 in my third month. Obviously, that's not typical of a lot of people. I know that. And probably if I started today, that wouldn't have happened. But I did get lucky with a particular niche that I went into. And some of those books I created are still my bestsellers today. Yeah, in 2020, the lowest month that I had wasn't much below 1,000. And then I talk about, at this point at time, November was my best month in 2020 at the time. Obviously, this post originally was like a year ago that I wrote it. And as I put there, actually in 2021, I had my highest month, which was nearly $8,000. That's still my highest month, actually, so far. We'll see how December goes. But you can see that income report on my blog. So then I just, in the blog, talked about 2020 and whether I did tons of work. And I didn't really. It was really quite sporadic. Obviously, there was lots going on at that time. I was doing homeschooling and various things. So I didn't get as much done as I wanted to as well, at all. But at the end of 2020, I think I had 450 books. But then today, I've only got about 520 live. So that's a whole year later. But 70 is still a good amount. But as I do this video, we're actually in just the beginning of December 2021, and I didn't create any books last month, and I may not do any this December, but I'm planning on some new books to start in January again, and we'll see. But yeah, at the moment I'm trying to expand on different income streams, because I don't think it's wise just to rely purely on Amazon. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, by the way. So if you're, looking at this and you're just all in on Amazon, I think try and think of other ways that you can start building an income as well. Just don't rely purely on that. And just as a comparison, I did a comparison between 2019 and 2020. So in the October 2019, I made $30, and the next year was $2,500. Then in November 2019, 259 versus over 4,000, and December was 1,000 versus 4,600. So yeah, I mean, by comparison, this year, October 2021 was over 6,000. Yeah, and November was over 7,000. So we'll see what happens in December. We'll see what next year is like. I know there are so many more people coming into this, but I do think there's still space for great books. There's still so many different avenues that you can go down with this, as well as activity books. I've been creating some kind of hybrid activity journal type things recently, and that's been quite fun. So yeah, I'll leave it at that, and I will create another video soon. So take care. Thank you.